How did you get on with that task? Well, hopefully it instigated some discussion and allowed you to think of some examples within each interpretation. Essentially, just remember that functionalist is a notion that is achievable. Social exclusions is outdated and unacceptable. Neo-Marxist, unlikely to happen within a capitalist society, and that sport mirrors society, and redistribution of opportunity within society is a must. The feminist interpretation is female inequalities within governance within a male-dominated society. And postmodernist is a concept that is outdated. Inequalities no longer apply. People influenced by globalization, so access to TV, barriers are being removed. So in a compressed version of the interpretations there. So moving on, why promote the area of social inclusion? Well, benefits to society are that we raise awareness of the public generally about the needs of particular groups. So we're not putting the blinkers up and concentrating solely on ourselves, that we're open to society and we understand the needs of everyone. Encourage people to develop talents and capabilities of all members of a community. And finally, and an area which we'll focus on later on in this session, we'll challenge discrimination. And the result, as I mentioned at the start, is hopefully a benefit to society as a whole. It's important to note at this point the notion of citizenship. And this can be defined as the ability to take part fully in all aspects of society. To be able to do this, taking part requires confidence. And you only grow through confidence if you feel accepted within a community or society. If you have skills, a certain set of skills, whether that be social skills, so to be able to engage with certain groups or connect with new groups and sustain existing groups. Knowledge, you need to have an understanding, a clear understanding. Ability to manage time and relationships. So you need to manage your own time, how you're going to get to certain groups and how you're going to maintain relationships. And supportive friends who share a desire to take part. So you're more likely to take part in certain activities or groups if you go with a group of friends as well. So like-minded people. So how do national governing bodies contribute to this notion of social inclusion? Well, all governing bodies and sports organisations need to know the demographic profile of people involved in their sport or organisation. As a member or an employee, a coach or a volunteer, for example. If that profile is known, then targeted work can be planned where underrepresentation has been identified. Also, the impact of work being done or planned can be assessed by doing another audit at a predetermined date in the future and comparing the two audits. This will help demonstrate a commitment towards the outputs in the equality standard, as well as meeting the general duty of promoting equality of opportunity and good race relations. Targeted work can then be planned where underrepresentation has been identified. In a future session, we will explore some of the initiatives delivered by NGBs and we'll bring this process to life. So think back to the first step of that process. National governing bodies need to undertake a profiling of their membership. And when I refer to membership, I mean those taking part in that particular sport. Racial and ethnic categories provide a useful starting point for data and collection and monitoring. Governing bodies are recommended to use a standard template form to collect data on a number of different groups across their sport. So the staff working within their own organisation, the ways in which they recruit staff, but also the ways in which their members recruit staff as well. So think about the FA and then the way in which the FA recruits staff, if you think about the job adverts that you see on job sites for the FA, but also the way in which their community clubs recruit staff. Or if you're based within a community football programme, the way in which your community trust recruits staff. Participants and members, so how do you recruit players within an academy system or a development centre system? Coaches within to that coaching pathway, and volunteers, including board members. So if you are based in a community trust, you will have a number of trustees. Well, how are they recruited onto that board of trustees? What I've provided here is just a standard example of how you might collect that information. So across the top, identify which area they fall into. Then some key areas will be identified, and these are quite uniform across all equality questionnaires. Gender, disability, social orientation, and ethnicity. What's missing off this form? Have you noticed? Well, yes, it's name. So we're not asking for an identification. This is anonymous. So all we want to understand is with the profiling across the organisation and within its membership. So we don't need to know the exact names or ages of individuals, for example. And after the ethnicity, there's a section there at the bottom about religion. This information will allow an organisation to understand a clear cross-section to make sure that it's as diverse as possible. Task for you now. Reflecting on the content covered within this section, I would like you to read through a couple of resources provided by the FA to community clubs via their Charter Standard programme. The resources are located below this video on Blackboard. Just provide a short paragraph or list in bullet point format the fundamental reasons why a club and national governing body would want to collate this equality information.